Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How is everybody doing? This is Inverted Reality TV's live from the lounge. I am your host, TL Swope. Welcome, everyone. Let me see. Let me go through my particulars here. See what's going on here. There we go. Let's see what's happening here, folks. Just for 1 second. This is really odd. Seems like I always seem to have a problem with this chat box showing up until I finagle with it a little bit. Okay, there it goes. All right, Joe Mack. Sound is good. Picture's good also. Great. Outstanding. Glad to hear that. Let's see here. In fact, I think I will. Nah, that's all right. It'll be all right. Let me get the other deal up here. See what's going on out there with the YouTube. Okay. All right. Very good. Well, my favorite mod, Joe Mack, what has been going on? That's been going on in your world. Oh yeah, Starbucks. Oh boy, you know, uh, it never ends. It just the insanity never ends. Starbucks, I saw that, and uh, and these guys are even capitulating and going to have a meeting with the CEO, and he's just going to say how horrible was a thing that they've done. When I don't have a problem with that. I mean, hey, if I've got an establishment there, I mean, and you're sitting in there for hours on end, soaking up the ambiance and taking up seats and not purchasing anything, no, uh, that is ridiculous. I mean, when it comes to the point that an owner of a business uh, cannot ask you to leave when you're sitting there and not making any purchases or anything. That's crazy. That has nothing to do with racism. I mean, you see this stuff all the time, or if you've heard of people. I mean, even in the old days, even in the movies, you've seen where bars, saloons, different things, where it was white people talking to white people. They tell you that, hey, if you're not buying, you got to go. So it's quite ridiculous what's going on. I mean, the insanity. It just it I think it's unlimited. Because somebody's always one upping all the time. I mean, the lunacy that goes on around the world, and especially with the United States leading the charge. That's what we do. It is amazing. So, a little update here. I was off again last week, um, taking care of some things and stuff, and I decided that I looked at my analytics and said that I needed to probably make some changes. So, from now on, I'm just gonna until the participation builds up. I'm just gonna do an hour, and it's gonna start at this time, 7 p.m. Central, 7 to 8. And once things build up and I see that people want to talk and engage more and do things, then I'll go back to an hour at that time. I've noticed when looking at my analytics that it seems that that's when the average watch time, view time of the streams after they've been uploaded is an hour. So basically, over about half of it, or a little bit more than that, if we go over, the average person is not watching the second half. So it's kind of like until that can change, then there's no sense in really doing it, because it's just putting out a lot of the effort without any engagement or anything. So that's the going to be the new standard now, the new format, 7 to 8 Central Standard Time, 1 hour, unless, something special comes up, or I see that the participation changes, and then that way I'll be able to do something different, add a little bit more to the pie, if you will. Now let's see what we got here. Okay. So Joe, is sound, everything still good? Are you at your screen, Joe? Okay, there you go. Oh yeah, Diamond and Silk. Oh, they just went live, huh? Since when? I thought that they were on another night. Hey, 3, how's it going? Yeah, I thought they were supposed to be on another night. See, that's why I've been doing Monday nights, so I wouldn't clash with those guys. Sound is about 75% volume. 3, what does 75% mean? Needs to go up? Is that what you're saying? Is that it's a bit low? That must be some kind of large delay or something going on here. Okay, you want me to go up a bit. How's that? Is that any better? Okay, just let me know. Uh, I don't want to blow you guys away. Okay. No, very good. I'll just go ahead and carry on. And if I need to go up or whatever, just let me know. Yes, the comments are delayed, but it just seemed to be a little extra slow tonight. Touch more, okay? We'll give you a touch more. How about maybe about right there? Is that, I guess, man, I don't want to blow you guys' socks off. Okay. Well, I will continue there and cut back my volume in my monitors because it's getting kind of loud in my headset. All right. Crazy things as usual, per usual, are going on, and the craziness again with President Trump, and he's got them going completely nuts. Okay, 3, thank you. He's got people going completely bat blank crazy, and you know what the blank is. It's just outrageous. Okay, glad to hear that. And you got these nuts running around here as usual. These crazy Democrats, these leftists, loony leftists. I want to see what you guys have to say about Mr. Ellis, Mr. Keith Ellis. He had a little piece to say about the Democrats losing the elections. Now, you want to see something crazy. Here's something crazy. Here you go. This loony here, if I can get it up here. Excuse me. Let's see if I can get it going over here. I might have to shut her down, get her back up. Yeah, these people are crazy. Like I said, Keith Ellis, and he's running around ranting, talking about how that the women are dying because the Democrats are losing elections. I mean, man, you can't make this stuff up. These people are just off the chain, crazy. Let me see if I can get it going here. Get the right screen. Get her up over here. Well, looks like I'm not going to be able to do it that way. Got a bit of a snafu here. I'm going to have to go a different route. Yeah, but he says women are dying because Dems are losing elections. And here's a little short piece here. Let's see if we can get a sound bite of them here so you can check them out.
Before. They need me to put it more in. They need to put my back into it more than before because their lives depend upon it. Did you know that in Missouri and in Texas and maybe other places, maternal mortality has risen? Women are dying because we are losing elections. We don't have the right to lose a damn election. We have to win. We have to win. I don't believe I believe.
There you go. Mr. Ellison. That's your typical leftist mantra. Always yelling and hollering about something. Everything's everybody's fault. Everybody's, that's the way they like it. That's the way they do it. And what can you expect? That's what you get, guys. The crazy, loony folks. So what do you guys think about all the crazy stuff that's going on with Comey and his book and the media parading him out? Every time somebody writes a book about Trump, they can't wait to give an exclusive so that they could sit out there and just bash him and just beat the poor president down. And actually I think it's beginning to backfire on them. I think they have beat that horse so badly that it has really begun to backfire, because where did I see that at? Trump's approval rating actually went up another percentage point since all the stuff that they've been talking about the last week or so. So yeah, 3 says women live on average about 10 years longer than men. I don't think that'd be fine. Well, if they do what men do and take on all the stress that men have, their mortality rate is going to start to increase. Their life expectancy is going to go down. Women for decades, they were homemakers and they stayed at the home, took care of the children, and they didn't have all of these things. Now they're trying to be single moms. They're trying to be CEOs and corporate people and do all of that and travel and be up under pressure for deadlines, and then coming home and dealing with this, and then personal relationships. That's a whole lot of stress to deal with that women have taken upon themselves under the guise of, for the most part, feminism. I mean, I don't see anything with women working or anything. There's nothing wrong with that. But feminism just pushes things way, way over the top. 3 says, okay. Comey admitted to colluding with Hillary to win the election, basically. But Trump is bad because he's threatening a proxy war with Russia and Syria. Yeah. Well, someone even had the gall to say that the only reason that he's doing this stuff is with Russia is trying to look like, so he won't look like that he had been colluding with them. Which is these people. I mean, boy, you are damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If you're President Trump, you can't win. The man could come out with a cure for cancer, and they would say he was showboating. They would say, "Oh, he's just trying to make people look up to him." I mean, he just couldn't be doing it because he wanted to save mankind. No. Yes, he's a Russian agent. He's a Ruski. Yeah. And because he's threatening a military force in a proxy state doesn't make sense. Of course it doesn't make any sense. That's the way it is. These people, they don't know when to stop. They gonna, they keep pushing and keep pushing. And as I said, what's going to wind up happening is that Trump's approval rating is just going to keep on going up because people are getting tired of it. I know some of the moderate people and the ones that a little on the left are just saying, enough is enough. When are you guys going to stop? Because it's obvious that even the devil couldn't be as bad as they're making Trump out to be, So it doesn't matter about the facts or anything. Facts mean nothing. Saw something here about the food stamps use dropping just like incredibly in like record time, which is a good thing. People need to get off of food stamps and get to work. Start a business, do something, get to work. So what's going on out there, and see what you guys are doing. Okay. The Republicans, they're not only pardoning the crimes of the Democrats by not pursuing justice, they are perpetrating them. You can't have a discourse with people that are going to constantly call you names and come up with all kinds of false realities about what's really going on, because they have no intent in having a discourse. That's the whole point. They don't believe in that. It's win at all costs. Win at all costs. They do not care. Fusion GPS was dropped by the media completely, and the lawyers' offices did not get raided. Yeah, that's one thing that really, really irked me. They're going to go and raid President Trump's lawyers and everything. And they raided, who was the other guy? What was his name that had to step down or whatever? They raided him too, him and his wife, while they were in bed and stuff, ungodly time in the morning. It's ridiculous. But here you got all of this evidence against the Clintons and Obamas and Eric Holder and all of these rest of those cronies, and nobody does anything. I mean, I've never seen such absurdity. I can't put my finger on it. I mean, how in the world does the media, how can they be taken anywhere near serious when they totally ignore everything to do with the Democrats, and they're out there digging and ruffling in the hay, trying to find a needle for something on the Republican side? Let's see. How can they explain Trump's lawyer's office being raided? Equality under the law. Yeah, it does not exist. That's right. Nope. I mean, it's amazing. And here these people are supposed to be the lawmakers, but they're the lawbreakers. They are the lawbreakers. Things are just so out of control. Just, can you imagine what it's going to be like this summer when it gets hot? Here it is. I mean, it was snowing here today, where I am in Southwest Indiana. And, we got a freeze warning tonight. And people are acting crazy now. Just wait till it gets hot. Wait till it gets in the 90s. And they're out there all drugged up and hyped up out there in all that heat. And oh, man. Oh, you better make sure you got your firearm close, because I'm telling you, these people are losing. What do you think about the guy that killed his girlfriend down in Louisiana? She was on Facebook Live, where she outed him, went on Facebook Live, and apparently he was still with some woman, and she was supposed to have not been messing with him any longer. So she went on Facebook Live and told everybody that she was still messing with him. And so the guy went over there, and he was mad and made her apologize and everything. And while she was on Facebook Live, and then he took a rifle. You couldn't tell what kind it was, but you could see his silhouette in the background right before he shot her. And she fell to the floor. She said, "No, no, no." And then he said, "Die, B. Game over. Game over, B." I tell you, boy, people are ruthless in this country. Just so full of hate, so full of evil. It's just, you don't even know who you're dealing with anymore. You don't even know who your neighbors are, which one's getting ready to go off on you, which one's getting ready to blow up. Or now here is one of the statement that I was telling you about the food stamps. The food stamp usage drops over 500,000 in 1 month. Yeah. In fact, there was that video. You would never see it on Facebook or anything, because if you did, they probably ban you. But it was on a website. Excuse me. I saw this website. It was called Heavy. I believe it was heavy.com. They actually had the video on there, and I saw it yesterday. And it was really, it was disheartening. I mean, this guy here, he had already beat up another woman, and the police was called on him, and he came outside and told the police off and went back in the house and beat on the woman some more while the police were outside. And plus he had gun convictions, I believe, robbery, drugs, all of this stuff. And I don't know what she was thinking about when she started fooling around with this guy, but she made a bad decision. It turned out to be a very costly mistake. Now she's got 3 kids with no mother. So it's really sad. Yeah, social media. Excuse me. What he said, he said something about Facebook and talking about everybody wants to be famous. And he said, I'm going to make you famous today. And that's what he said. I'm going to make you famous today before he shot and killed her. So, these people are going on Facebook and doing some of the most stupid stuff, shooting people, killing themselves, confessing stuff on people, all live, and people are getting killed, and yet they keep doing it. They just keep doing it. And I tell you, mental illness is rampant. I say it all the time. Yes, social media is destroying our relationships with each other, and people are hiding behind social media, and people don't want to come together and talk face to face or anything. I mean, some people don't even want to even talk on the phone. They'd rather sit there and take an hour to say 2 paragraphs than to just get on the phone and take 30 seconds and be done with it. I don't do it. If somebody wants to text me after more than a couple of little short sentences, I'm done. Just go ahead and call me, because I'm not going to write out a thesis, text out a thesis to you. I'm just not going to do it. Let's just get on the phone and get it over with so we can move on. Yeah, faith is abdication of reason. You are right. The dead ones don't get a chance to learn their lesson. But you would think that others who hear these stories would learn the lessons. The rapper 10,000. ATL Zuckerberg is a joke. A man trapped in a child's body. Oh, that Zuckerberg. You talking about a con man. He gets up there and says, oh, yes, our industry needs to be regulated. Oh, I know we are really left leaning, and I tried to root that stuff out of my company. Come on, man. You are the founder of your company, and you're going to tell me you can't set the tone for the culture? I mean, how stupid does he think? Well, that's right. Zuckerberg, I forgot, he called all of his Facebookers dumb effers anyway. So why did I even ask that question? I guess he thinks everybody is dumb, not just them, which I don't have a Facebook account. I got rid of mine long time ago. Yeah, exactly, rapper, with his little booster seat. That was kind of cutesy, wasn't it? I'd have been embarrassed. I would have rather just sat down in the seat. After all, you see all the memes out there with him sitting on that seat, on that cushion. There's no way. With all those cameras and stuff, there's no way I'd have sat on the cushion like that. Three says, yeah, but David Hogg is our source of morality in the USA. Yeah. Yeah, please. What a joke. But here's the thing. With all of this stuff that is going on, I've said it before. All of this goes back to Saul Alinsky and his rules for radicals and Obama and Hillary's affiliation with him. Like I said, Hillary actually knew him and wrote a thesis on him in 1971. And Barack studied his work and taught this crap in university. That's how all of these kids are so screwed up. All of that stuff comes from his divide and conquer tactics. And like, for instance, ridicule. I've talked about this. This is he said that's the strongest weapon to mankind is ridicule. And he said, you polarize your subject just like he did. You see, have you noticed how they polarized the president? I mean, everybody from the sports to the Hollywood to the media, everywhere you go, it's a constant barrage against Trump. They are cracking jokes. They are insulting him, because he says that by doing that, you're going to make them mad, and then they're going to make mistakes that play into your favor. See, all of this stuff is part of the Democrat socialist plan. All of it is. All of this dividing, all of this gender stuff, all of this stuff is about dividing and conquering and pitting everyone against each other, which weakens the whole group. And they enjoy that. These people, they just make me so mad sometimes. Yes, useful idiot is exactly right. The rapper 10,000, Black Lives Matter, BLM are protesting over that Starbucks incident rather than acting like reasonable adults. They need to read up on. Listen, it's not about the laws. They don't care about what's reasonable. All they want to do is promote division. Anytime they see an opportunity, they're going to seize it. It doesn't matter how much sense it makes. It doesn't make any sense to go around tearing down 200- and 300-year-old statues that are doing nothing to anybody. And if you wasn't bringing attention to them, most people would be walking past them every day, not even giving them a thought. Three says, I got turned away from a Starbucks bathroom 2 months ago in my HVAC service uniform for not buying a coffee. Not a customer. They were right, so I left. Of course. But see, that means you are trying to be rational. See, you can't compare rational thought to beings that are totally irrational. That's what they are. They're nuts. I've said it over and over again. These people are Looney Tunes. They make no sense. They totally contradict themselves. They go against the laws of nature, against physics. They go against everything. It makes no sense. It's a mental illness. It's a mental illness. It's a mental illness when you got women running around saying, don't call me a woman. It's mental illness when you have women walking around saying that you don't have to have a vagina to be a woman and you don't have to have a penis to be a man. That's mental illness. Now, I'm not the one with the problem. They're the ones with the problem. going to tell you because you're a child, the only reason you're a boy or a girl because that's the gender that was assigned to you. No. There's something called genitalia that definitely lets you know which is which. But of course, that would mean you would have to talk about sex, but we've got rid of the word sex, so it's all gender now. It's whatever you prefer. Yeah. 3, that's interesting. Yeah, Faith, you are right. Now, ISIS going around, they tear down all kinds of religious statues, all type of historical stuff. Isn't that a coincidence how these leftists want to do the same thing? But see, they side with ISIS. They side with the radical Muslims. They hate Christianity. Don't want anything to do with it. So they'll side with the enemy, just like Vladimir Lenin said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah, I like that, Faith. You got assigned homework, not genitalia. That's very good. Let's see. A Hispanic student at my school believes that there is a such thing as toxic masculinity because his teachers told him. I tried to educate him on how we men handle our differences. Yeah, this toxic masculinity crap. That's feminism, third wave feminism at its finest. Toxic. Yeah, we're all toxic, huh? You got women that don't want you to open the door for them, don't want you to compliment them, don't want you to, it's total opposite of the way it's always been. Total opposite. And then they want these women wonder why they're so unhappy, why they're so miserable. They don't have a man in their lives. They sit around and they have to go buy sex toys and then they get out there and their little pussy marches and act like they're so happy and everything when they're miserable. You can tell, you can see it all over their faces. They're angry and they're miserable, but it's all misdirected. It's all aimed in the wrong direction. That's because they're misguided. It says 3 says, I'm going to advise them to read the book. Masculinity is our future. Oh boy, you're going to make them hyperventilate. Don't do that. Don't even show them the title. They said, where have all the good men gone? They've ran them all off. That's where they are. Only men they have around them is a bunch of cucks and gay caballeros. Yeah. Any feminist teachers that I have, I will boycott them. The rapper 10,000. Yeah. I'm telling you, we as conservatives, we have to stand up against this stuff. I don't care if you're in school, on your workplace, your job, whatever. You cannot let these people beat you down because that's their whole goal, is to silence you. So there's only one voice heard, and it's theirs. And they want to intimidate you. They want you intimidated. They want you to self-censor your, self-censor. They want you to stop. Before you get ready to say something, you start stopping and saying, oh, maybe I better not say that. But they say everything they want to say and more. They don't hesitate it because they're the inclusive ones. See, very inclusive, except for you. What do you think about the story the other day about the private college that hosted I did the video on it, the no whites allowed pool party. Very, very inclusive. Good old socialist left. And that's the way they do. See, they use you and then they discard you. So here you go. They get these white kids to go out there and march with them and everything and tell them how they're fighting for them. And I want to be an ally because you're oppressed. And then once they start getting a little bit of power, what they do is tell the same white people, we're having a party and you're not invited. I tell you. It's a faith of abdication. They hate to silence us because their arguments don't stand up. That's right, their arguments do not stand up to scrutiny because anybody with common sense see right through them. The rapper T.O., at least some women realize that there are a huge difference between men and women. Military women realize that too. Yes. 3 says paid by the university and a licensed social worker. Very interesting, my friend. Very interesting. There's crazy, crazy things going on. Read. Let's see. Oh, I actually can't get to it from this screen. Wow. I don't know what's going on. Got a frog in my throat or something. Yes, folks. So, once again, we've got this insanity going on. We've got, wow, this is really going fast. It's 7:49. Okay, here, let's see. I didn't realize this. 215, you're on the air.
TL.
Hello.
Hey, TL.
Yes.
Joe Mack.
Hey, what's going on?
You know I'm going to call you.
Well, that's all right. That's all right.
All right. I mean, I listen to a lot of other people around the country. Excuse me. This Starbucks incident. Excuse me. Took place last Thursday in the city of Philadelphia. I live in the city of Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I know police officers. I know what protocol is. The protocol is for Starbucks is to, if you have customers and they're not buying merchandise, in that case, coffee, cookies, whatever, they are asked to leave. This place is down and not It's what all the university people all go, business people go. It's Center City.
Right.
They go in there for the free Wi-Fi for one. They take their laptops in there. They have experienced multiple robberies from people who disregarded their property on their tables that they were sitting at.
Right.
In the same situation of from people who just sat at the table and waited for opportunity. So the white employee, which I have to say white because I really didn't care what kind of employee they were, told them they would have to leave. They told them no. On numerous occasions. She went to the manager. He came out and also told them to leave on multiple occasions. He said to them, I am going to call the police. Now, these two gentlemen, I call them gentlemen, they are supposed to be real estate agents waiting for another person to join them who is, like I said, I don't like talking race, but they said he was a white guy. Anyway, and everybody involved so far, except for the two guys loitering in the Starbucks, when the manager told them he's going to call the police, they turned around and said, go ahead, call them. Now, I've seen pictures in them of them. They're in sweatpants. Now, as a professional, I think you should have wore shoes, slacks, a button-down shirt, maybe a tie or a jacket. But if it was an informal meeting, sure, I could see going casual, but not in sweatpants.
Sure.
Anyway, the police walked in, asked them 3 times to leave. They refused. The police then handcuffed them. And everything that's going out on the mainstream media is them being handcuffed. Well, I hate to tell anyone out. I'm trying to shut this stuff down because it's going around this country about protesting Starbucks. And right now, the Starbucks in Philadelphia had been protesting. But the police have since pushed that out of here. So it's really not a big deal in Philadelphia any longer. But it looks like it's still picking up steam around the country.
Oh yeah, because the media is gonna stir it up.
Yeah. There was a
Joe, do you have your speakers up in the background?
Hold on. Man, that's my headphones. Anyway, there was a police sergeant that walked into the same Starbucks and asked to use the bathroom. And he was told the same thing, that he would have to buy a coffee. And this is a police officer sergeant in their district. And they denied him service. He left. So, and I listened to somebody else who said, this is your black people's culture not to listen to authority. And I mean,
no, it's the thugs in the black culture that don't listen to authority. Those of us who were raised properly and grew up with some sense, we know how to abide by the rules just like everyone else. And you got these people that think they're above the rules.
No, you're not the first one I heard hear about this. There's a man out in Texas that I listened to also, and he said, listen, when a police officer tells you something, follow the order. Now, I know sometimes you do get a bad cop. I can understand that. I mean, I was growing up in a bad time, in a bad neighborhood. We did get singled out. Even though we were white, it didn't make a difference. We got singled out by the way we got dressed, or hair, the way our hair was. But it was something that we dealt with, but we dealt with it with respect to the police, and they had the right to stop us and search us and get our IDs and put it back, put it in the book that we got stopped. But that's, like you said, that's the way we were taught. But I think what is being done with this incident, they're trying to raise tempers over this.
Exactly. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's what I said. They're stirring the pot. That's what they want to do.
Our police chief is also black. Doesn't make a difference. He's a good man. He knows what he's doing, and he does deserve the position. So it didn't make a difference. Protocol says they are called there. They talk of the infraction of Starbucks protocol of patrons in their store what to do. All they did was follow what Starbucks puts out as their boundaries. All they did was enforce it. But as far as I know, this is becoming such a big problem in this country that next thing I know, we're going to have Farrakhan in our neighborhood. We're going to have Al Sharpton in our neighborhood, raising all kinds of BS.
Oh no! You won't. You don't need Al Sharpton in your neighborhoods anymore because they put him on TV. They give him a platform now where he doesn't have to get a local crowd. He can get on the national NBC or something and talk to millions of people at the same time. See, he's beyond being down there in the crowd. I mean, he may do that occasionally, but most of the time they'll put him on the national news networks so that he can get the maximum exposure. See, and that's what they want. I'm telling you, I've said that over and over again. That's exactly what they want. That is their scheme, is they want to cause a race war in this country. They've been trying it ever since Obama's been in. They've been trying it, and now they're really wanting to do it, see, now because now you have a white president in, and so now they can blame it all on him. Everything's Trump's fault. It snowed today. It's his fault. Everything is his fault. Obama had nothing to do with any of it. He was wonderful. He was marvelous. Absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, well, like I said, I listen to other people, Alabama, Arizona, Texas. They're talking about the Black Lives Matters or getting involved with this. Well, listen, I live here. There is nothing going on here. The crowds that went down here to protest at Starbucks because of this nonsense that happened 4 days ago is dispersed. There was a report that they were first protested. They shut the door and closed it for a day. That door is now open. They are not protesting that place because they are in the wrong. And the police department know that. So do most of the people in the city of Philadelphia. And I'm telling you, even though I live in a racially diverse city, we're a sanctioned city, and I'm telling you now, I don't have any problems with any racist. Anyone. No one. Any color. They are polite to me. I'm polite to them. It's like we live in this city. We live together. We all bleed the same color. So it really doesn't make a difference of the color of your skin. And I'm tired of, like I said, I'm hearing this stuff, and it's kind of pissing me off because I live here. They're trying to trash the city, even though it isn't a slumlord yet or a slum hole yet, but we aren't as bad as this news media has been trying to portray us. And there's no backing behind these Black Lives Matters. There is no backing behind any group trying to protest the Starbucks here.
Well,
and
Well,
to protest in other cities.
Well, here's the thing. I would say here, in the words of Slick Willie, heck, I don't know what all this protesting is about. Hey, I was the original black president. Forget Barack Obama. Heck, I was the original Puff Daddy too. I didn't inhale, I just puffed. Hey, all I want to do is have a little fun. Why don't y'all lighten up?
I also have to hit on another note. You put up this gun shooting with the rifle. I didn't see that one, but I saw one last week where there's two males and a female sitting in the car. There's a gun on the middle of the car, sitting
right
on there, and they're talking. And he's talking, and it's live.
Mm-hmm.
She picks up the gun,
mm-hmm.
and she loads it up, puts it to his head, and blows his brains out. On live, or recorded.
Mm.
The man in the back jumps out. The woman in the front, on the driver's side, jumps out, and all you see is blood coming out of his head.
Mm.
And I had to show my son, he's 30 years old, I had to show my wife, I said, look, this is what's going on in this country. Well, she was later arrested because of that film. But what I'm trying to get at, people don't understand. Guns kill people. People kill people. Guns do not shoot by themselves. And she proved the fact that guns are not the problem. It's the attitude of the people who have those guns. I am waiting every day right now for my NRA hat to come because I am going to wear it all over the city of Philadelphia.
That's what you got to do.
Everywhere I go.
That's what you have to do. You can't let these people bully you. They're the first ones that run around talking about people bullying, but they're doing it. And that's the way it always is. They're a bunch of hypocrites and liars and imbeciles. They have no standards. They have no morals. They have no values. But yet they want to try to make you adhere to something that they're not even coming close to doing.
Well, I have to say something. When we first spoke privately,
mm-hmm.
he had said something to me about not holding back. Well, since then, I had not held back. And I'm finding out more of my neighbors think like I do. More of the people on Facebook that I know think like I. And they are starting to agree on voicing their opinion on what's going on in this country. So what I have to say is, like you had told me, I can't step back because I refuse to put the Trump poster out on my lawn because I figure my bay window would get broken because of them. But guess what? It's not happening any longer. I am standing up for myself, and like I said, I have noticed talking to my neighbors, they are starting to come out from under the woodwork with me, which they always were, but they were afraid too. But now we're starting to get numbers together. So we stand greater together than divided. And that's all I'm saying is we're not going to stand back. And that's all I have to say to you tonight. Glad to be here, glad to talk to you, glad to get something off my chest about the Philadelphia nonsense because, like I said, I heard all kinds of other people talking about this, and they just don't understand or don't know what's going on because the mainstream media is spinning their way.
Yep, that's true.
And that's what they want.
That's true. Well, Joe, thanks for calling in and giving me your comments. They're always appreciated.
And I appreciate it too. And I see Rapper around, I see Three around every once in a while on different channels that I go to, and I appreciate what they do and say, and their comments also.
Yeah, me too. In fact, they've been throwing a few things out here. I'm trying to think who is the one that I normally don't see here on the channel. Mentioned something about Marxism earlier, and I kind of caught the top of it. I mean, the bottom half of it, but I didn't get all of it. I was wondering, does anybody remember what they said, or are they still there? Because I don't, right here in this screen that I'm looking at through OBS, I don't see them.
I don't see them. And I've been listening to Tommy Robinson too. What England's been going through. I'm following politics all the way around the world because there's so much crap going on.
Right.
And I have.
Well, Joe,
like I said,
Joe, this is what. Okay, here we are. My social advocacy college professor, because I'm a social worker and it wasn't a Marxist, she told me firmly. Yeah, that's right. There it is. My social advocacy college professor told me I could not be a social worker if I wasn't a Marxist. Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
Okay, I'm going to let you go, and hopefully somebody else gives you a call also.
All right. I mean, as long as we stay going, because I was only going to do an hour tonight, but if you guys keep it up, I'll go a little longer.
All right. Well, I just wanted to know, when you came up, Diamond and Silk came up also, and I know they have a big following.
Yeah.
Which I do follow them also.
But that's what I said. That's one reason I went to Mondays, because they weren't supposed to be on Mondays.
Yeah, well, they've been showing up on Mondays against you, so that could take away a few people. But like I said, I'm going to follow you at any cost that I can. But have a good night. I'll listen to the rest of the show whatever time you have left.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe Mack.
All right.
My main mod.
Good night. God bless.
Good night. Yeah. Joe, that's kind of what he was getting at. 3 is kind of engaged with the chat too, because it gets to be like it's just a one-on-one conversation, and everybody else is kind of like in the background. And if we can all engage and interact, that's even for the better. Yeah, Facebook is full of it. They sit there and let people show videos of beheadings and murders and underage pedophilia stuff, but then they want to shut down somebody for having a conservative opinion. Pretty pathetic. Pretty pathetic. Okay, if anybody wants to call in, the number is 812-205-2704. And the rapper, SATO, get this, those liberals are comparing Starbucks incident. Yeah, with the boycott, which is ludicrous. I mean, absolutely ludicrous. How can you compare? I mean, and you call yourself some type of real estate broker, and you couldn't buy a $5 cup of coffee? Come on. But, it's almost as though they knew this was going to happen and they did it on purpose. It wouldn't surprise me at all, because how can you be a legitimate real estate broker and can't even buy a pastry or a coffee or a tea or something? I mean, that's just, I smell a rat. I believe that, there's people out there that's going to do things intentionally just to cause problems, just like these gay caballeros that went into the Christian bakery. They didn't bother going into any of the Muslim bakeries, though. They went to the Christian bakery to cause the problem. He says in the USA, you can't have a full-time job until you're 30. But socialism, that the age of consent should be 14. Yeah. Well, actually, 3. It was definitely premeditated. They knew what they were doing. I mean, because it makes no sense. If you're supposed to be a business professional, and you go into an establishment and you think that establishment is supposed to just let you sit there and loiter all day long as you want, without you even purchasing as much as a small drink or something. No, this was all planned. And you see how fast that the Black Lives Matter and all of them jumped on it. It's no telling how much they got paid to do it. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they got paid to do it. Because then they're going to sit there and then tell the police they're not going to leave on top of it. Now, who would want to go through all of that when all you got to do is walk out? It's not racist. You've been sitting there and you haven't been buying anything. I mean, how can you be a real estate broker and be that ignorant? That tells me that there's a lot more to this story than what's being told. Yeah, I agree with you, rapper. It is crazy. Totally insane. Yeah, buddy. It is out of control. Out of control, folks. They wanted to use a locked restroom. Right. Well. Oh, okay. I got you. City coffee shops like that, the doors are locked. You need a code from, yeah. Now, imagine in some cities they definitely are. I can't say that for all of them. I don't even know if it's happening here where I live at. I haven't been in Starbucks in a couple years. When I go in, I've never really hung around long or anything. The coffee's too strong for me. Blows my head off. I can't handle it. The rapper says he's never stepped foot in Starbucks, but maybe I should. Sell out their hypocritical political biases towards conservatives and other opposing views. Yeah, and somebody made a comment earlier about that they're getting a piece of their own. They're reaping what they sow, and that's true because see, Starbucks they actually had made some political statements, some leftist leaning statements about some things, and you see, what they don't understand is that they eat their own. The same people that you sit up and stand up for, they will come and ransackle you. You know, that's the way it works. I mean, these people, they have no loyalty. They have no nothing. You know, they use you as long as you let them, and then they just throw you away. You're disposable. That's the way it works. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. And they did the thing with the cups around Christmas time. And I forgot all about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how they roll. All right, 3. Very good. Very good. We've already went over almost 20 minutes past what I said. I think I'm going to continue with this little slot here, this experiment for now. Going to do an hour to hour and a half. And if we can get some more phone time and everything like that, then we can start going longer again. I didn't pull up a lot of my external pages this evening because I actually got a bit of a snafu, and I would have had to totally shut the stream down and come back on to be able to access it, and I didn't want to do that, so that's why I didn't really pull any live pages up or anything. But I'll make sure that that's lined out for the next show. But yeah, I've enjoyed you guys, and really enjoy your interaction and your comments and everything. It keeps everything live, keeps everything going. Send you an email if we can do a Google chat. A Google chat? What, you have a show or something, or 3? Yeah, I saw that. I will send you my email if we can do a Google chat next time, but I'm not understanding what you mean. A Google chat where? You want me to get on Google with you, or what? Oh, phone number needed. My phone number? All you have to do is my phone number is right down there in the crawl space. You know, at the bottom of the screen. I guess he's talking about trying to use Google to call in to Live from the Lounge. Now, you don't have to have a phone, but you can either call in at the number 812-205-2704, or you can use Skype. Okay. Have a good one, 3. Appreciate you. Yeah, we got just a few more minutes here. We're going to go to 8:30. Well, actually, I'll start shutting it down maybe about 8:27, something like that. So we got about 6 minutes, folks. You got anything else you want to throw up? Anything you want to elaborate on? Yep. Good night, 3. See what's going on here. Let me get this over here. Okay. Well, I can see we are down. So I think it's about time to wind things up. The rapper, Joe Mac, 3, if you're still there. Everybody else, if they happen to come back and look at this afterwards, or the rest of it who were here, appreciate you all. Had a good time, and I guess I'll probably see you guys again here at the same time, unless something just ridiculous happens, which we know, as crazy as things are, anything is possible. So you never know. We might be back here before you know it. If something breaks that's really outrageous, that's what we'll do. So in the meanwhile, as we'll start signing off, let everybody enjoy themselves. Hold your head up high. Be conservative. Conservative strong. Don't let nobody shout you down. Be like me. I said, when I die, they're going to have to take a stick to kill my mouth. That's right. I'm conservative and I'm proud. I'm an American. Get over it, leftists. All right. Like I said, it's been very good. And I've enjoyed you all. And have a great week. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. And this is TL Swope with Inverted Reality TV's Live from the Lounge. Signing off. Good night, everybody.